All right, so get ready because we are diving deep into Sharon Lechter's Think and Grow Rich for Women.
Deep, deep.
Yeah, and we're going way beyond, just like your typical self-help summary here.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts, we've got stats, we've even got some pretty surprising stories.
Oh, cool.
And it's all focused on how women are really, like, changing the game.
The game.
When it comes to defining success.
Defining success, yeah. And you know what's so interesting is how Lechter takes that classic Napoleon Hill work, but she gives it this totally modern twist.
Right.
It's not just about, like, raking in the cash.
Yeah, right.
It's about feeling valued
Ah.
and making a real impact, which, by the way,
Okay.
totally backed up by research, like serious research.
Oh, wow. So it's not just, like, touchy-feely stuff. This is
legit.
legit.
Okay.
Yeah, like, think about Barbara Annis,
Yep.
the gender intelligence expert.
Yes.
Her research shows that men, they tend to think of success as winning.
But for women, it's way more than that, way more nuanced.
Yeah.
We want to win, obviously,
Sure.
but we want to feel like what we do, what we contribute, it actually matters.
Like it's appreciated.
Appreciated, yes.
Yeah.
Seen, valued.
Yeah, like you're not just spinning your wheels.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know what? When that's missing,
Yeah.
people leave.
They walk.
It's a huge reason why women ditch their jobs.
Oh, really?
So if you've ever felt that frustration that, nobody gets me,
Yeah.
you're not alone.
You're not alone.
At all.
Okay, so then how do we take that frustration and turn it into something? Like, how do we turn it into action?
Action, yeah.
That's where I think Lechter's definite major purpose comes in.
Yes. And it's more than just, like, setting a goal.
Okay.
It's like the driving force behind everything you do.
So it's like the fuel.
The fuel. Yeah.
Okay, so like, let's say someone's listening to this right now. And they're like, okay, that sounds great, but I'm just trying to, like, get through the day,
Right.
get dinner on the table, and, like, keep my inbox from exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you even start with this purpose thing?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Lechter would probably say, start by looking at, like, what really gets you fired up.
Okay.
Even if it seems small, and remember Kimberly Schulte,
Oh, yeah, the single mom.
single mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
She went from, like, financial ruin
Oh, yeah.
to running a successful business.
Yeah, her story is incredible.
It is. She took what she knew how to do, like how to turn things into skills,
Right.
and she made that her purpose.
Wow.
It wasn't about some big fancy vision.
Right.
It was about, like, using what she had
Right.
to build a life she actually wanted.
For herself and her kids.
For herself and her kids, yeah.
Okay, so it's about looking at the skills you already have, the things you're already passionate about,
Yeah.
and saying, okay, how can I use these to make an impact? Exactly.
Even if it's just, like, in my own little corner of the
In
world.
your little tour in the world, yeah. And, Lechter also talks about faith.
Oh.
But she's not talking about, like, religion here.
Right, yeah.
She's talking about self-belief. And that resilience, that ability to bounce back.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is super important.
Especially for women.
Especially for women, yeah.
Yeah, because we face some unique pressures.
We do.
And that faith tree analogy, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That really sticks with you.
It does.
It's like you plant this seed, right,
Mm-hmm.
of your idea
Yeah.
or your goal,
Your goal.
and then you nurture it.
You nurture it.
You got to
Yeah.
water it. You got to give it sunlight. You
Yeah.
got to protect it from the storms.
Yeah, even when things get tough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know what? Lechter herself is a great example of this whole, like, faith thing.
Really?
She walked away from a super successful company
Oh.
when it just wasn't feeling right anymore.
Well-
It wasn't aligned with her purpose.
Yeah.
And that takes guts.
That takes guts.
Seriously.
So it's not just about setting a goal and hoping for the best.
Right.
It's about taking action even when you're scared.
Even when you're scared and
Trusting that you'll figure it out
Yeah.
along the way.
But how do you go from, like, blind faith to actually making things happen?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's where knowledge comes in, right?
Knowledge, yeah. And here's the thing.
Okay.
Lechter is very clear that knowledge without action is just potential energy.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like having a toolbox full of, like, amazing tools,
Right.
but never actually building anything.
Yeah, it's all theory, no practice.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's not enough to just, like, read books
Right.
and listen to podcasts.
Right. You got to actually do something.
You got to do something, yeah.
I got to apply it.
Apply it.
Okay.
And for women, especially women who are entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
it's so important to stay up to date.
Up to date on the latest trends in technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's constantly changing.
Right, the landscape's always shifting.
Exactly. And Lechter talks about how successful women, they're always learning.
They're lifelong learners.
Lifelong learners, yeah, and they surround themselves with experts.
It's like building a brain trust.
The brain trust, yeah.
To support your goal.
To support your goals, yeah.
Okay, so you're gathering knowledge, you've got your brain trust.
Yeah.
But how do you come up with those, like, game-changing ideas?
Right.
This is where imagination comes in, right?
Imagination, exactly. And she makes this really interesting distinction between two types of imagination.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, so there's creative imagination.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you come up with totally new ideas, right?
Okay.
Like out of thin air.
Right.
And then there's synthetic imagination.
Yeah.
That's where you take existing ideas and you combine them in new ways.
Ah, so you're not necessarily reinventing the wheel.
Right.
You're taking the wheel.
We're taking the wheel.
And attaching it to a suitcase to make rolling luggage.
Exactly. And remember, Layla Jana,
Remind me.
she started Samasource.
Okay.
It's a perfect example of that synthetic imagination.
Okay.
She saw a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was poverty.
Right.
And an existing tool, which was outsourcing.
Mm-hmm.
And she put them together in this totally new way
Oh.
to create jobs and opportunities.
That's amazing.
It is, but it doesn't always have to be about like solving these huge global issues.
Right.
Even something like, disposable diapers.
Yeah, somebody had to come up with that.
Somebody had to come up with that, and that took imagination.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, even when Lechter was working on like a super serious topic,
Yeah.
like Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil,
Yeah.
she found inspiration in nature.
Wow. So it's not like you have to lock yourself in a room
Yeah.
with a bunch of business books to get inspired.
Exactly. It's about staying curious,
Right.
observing the world around you,
Yeah.
and being open to those like aha moments.
Yeah, when they strike.
And they strike.
Okay, so now let's move on to something that maybe doesn't sound as exciting,
Yeah.
but it's essential for turning these imaginative ideas into reality.
It's the foundation.
Yeah, I'm talking about organized planning.
Organized planning.
I have to admit,
Yeah.
this is where I tend to struggle.
Okay.
I'm more of a go-with-the-flow kind of person.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
But Lechter makes a strong case for why planning is crucial,
It is.
especially for women.
Especially for women, yeah.
Yeah, because we juggle so much.
We do.
So she really emphasizes like having a clear roadmap.
Yeah.
Breaking those big goals down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Exactly. And, she's not just talking about business plans here.
Right, right.
This is about planning all areas of life.
Oh, okay.
Remember that expert Judith Williamson?
Remind me.
She's the one who studies Hill's work.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's got some great tips on creating systems, whether you're organizing like your business, your home, even your thoughts.
Your thoughts, wow.
Yeah, it's all connected.
And I love how Lechter talks about that cosmic pattern
Oh, yeah.
of accumulating clutter.
Like the universe is conspiring against us.
It's so true.
Yeah,
My desk is a constant battleground.
I get it.
But seriously, how do we go from being like chronically disorganized to actually organized?
It's about establishing new habits.
Okay.
And sometimes it takes a bit of like trial and error
Right.
to find what works for you.
Right. But it's possible.
It is.
Okay, so we've got the planning piece down.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about something that can like really supercharge your success.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about the power of the mastermind.
The mastermind.
This is something I've been hearing a lot about.
It's a hot topic.
It seems like collaboration is the new competition.
It is. It really is.
So what exactly is a mastermind?
So Hill describes it as like a group of people who are all working together towards a shared goal.
Okay.
They're pooling their knowledge, their resources, their energy.
It's like a brain trust on steroids.
Exactly.
All right.
And Lechter makes this interesting observation.
What's that?
That women were often naturally inclined towards collaboration and support circles.
Yeah, we like to help each other.
We do.
So in a way, we're already kind of hardwired for this.
We are.
But how do you build a mastermind that's actually effective?
That's the key question.
Yeah.
Lechter lays out some specific strategies.
Like what?
Like how to find the right people.
Right.
How to set clear goals. And how to structure your meetings so they're actually productive.
Okay, so it's not just about getting together and chatting.
No.
There's a real strategy to it.
There is.
And does she have any, like, real-world examples of women who are doing this successfully?
Oh, yeah, tons.
Okay.
Like Ali Brown.
Okay.
She's all about empowering female entrepreneurs. And Mary Smith, the social media guru.
Yeah.
They both use masterminds, and it's proof that this stuff works.
So it's not just theory, it's actually happening.
It's happening.
Okay, so let's talk about decision.
Decision.
This is a concept that can, like, make or break your success.
Oh, absolutely.
And Lechter sees it as, like, the antidote to procrastination.
Yeah, because indecision can be a major energy drain.
Right.
And a huge obstacle to achieving anything.
So it's not just about being lazy, it's about there's something deeper going on there.
There's fear, there's self-doubt.
Yeah, all that stuff.
All that stuff.
Okay.
And I love how Lechter brings it back to that idea of the definite major purpose.
Yeah.
Remember Margie?
Mm-hmm.
The woman who found her purpose through her desire to, like, really provide for her kids.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, I want to give them a good life.
Yeah.
And that clarity of purpose helped her make tough decisions
Wow.
about her business or career.
So it's like when you know your why, the how becomes a little bit easier.
It does. It does.
Okay, and then there's Kimberly Schultz again.
Kimberly Schultz, yeah.
She used the power of decision to overcome, like, a failed marriage in financial ruin.
Yeah.
Like, talk about turning things around.
Talk about a comeback.
It's such a powerful example.
It is.
Of how making a choice,
even a hard one,
even a really difficult one,
can change everything.
can be a catalyst.
Yeah.
For something positive.
Something amazing.
Wow. It's like that saying, the only wrong decision is no decision.
Exactly.
But sometimes making those big decisions can be overwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Like, how do you know if you've made the right choice?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And Lechter gives us a framework for making decisions that are aligned with, your values and your goals.
Okay.
It's not about having all the answers.
Right.
It's about trusting your gut and taking action.
Yeah, you can't just sit there and analyze it forever.
You'll be paralyzed. You'll never get anywhere.
Okay, so now let's address the elephant in the room.
The elephant.
The chapter title, it might have raised some eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
Transmuting sexual energy.
Ooh, that sounds a little...
I know, right?
A little spicy.
A little spicy, but Lecter's take on this is actually really modern and practical.
It is.
She's not talking about, like, suppressing your desire.
Yeah, no.
Like that.
No, it's about understanding the power of that energy.
Okay.
And channeling it in a way that, like, fuels your goals.
So it's not about denying it.
No.
It's about harnessing it.
Harnessing it, yeah.
And I think Karen Russo, the financial expert, she puts it really well.
Oh, what'd she say?
She talks about the importance of both, like, feminine awareness and masculine action when it comes to, like, creating wealth.
Nice.
So it's not about being one or the other.
No.
It's about embracing both.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now let's dive into something that can really, like, transform your life.
Oh, okay. Talking about the subconscious mind.
The subconscious.
Lechter argues that your subconscious beliefs are shaping your reality, whether you're aware of them or not.
It's true. It's like we're on autopilot.
Yeah. And that can be, like, a good thing or a bad thing.
It can.
It's like, if you believe you're not good enough, you're going to act in ways that confirm that belief.
Exactly.
But the good news is you can change those beliefs.
You can reprogram your subconscious.
How do you do that?
So Donna Cordova's story, she's a great example of this.
Okay.
She realized how powerful her thoughts were.
Yeah.
And she chose to believe in herself and her abilities, and her life changed.
Wow.
It's amazing.
So it's not just about positive thinking. It's about really reprogramming.
Reprogramming your mind to support your goals.
Okay.
And Lechter takes it even deeper. She explores, like, the science of success and how our brains are literally wired for it.
Oh, that's interesting. She talks about web thinking, which is this style of thinking that women are naturally good at.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this web thinking.
All right, so it's about making connections between ideas that seem totally unrelated and seeing patterns and thinking holistically.
So it's not linear.
No.
It's more
like a web.
Like a web, okay.
And this is why women are often so good at, like, collaboration, multitasking, handling ambiguity.
All those things that we're told are, like, weaknesses.
Right, but they're actually strengths.
That are strengths.
In today's world.
Wow, so it's not a bad thing to be, like, all over the place.
No, it's an asset.
It's an asset.
You got to own it.
Own it.
Now, let's talk about something that often gets dismissed as, like, woo-woo.
Okay.
But Lechter says it's essential for success. The sixth sense.
Intuition.
Yeah.
Intuition, yeah.
I struggle with this one.
A lot of people do.
I tend to overthink
Yeah.
and second-guess myself.
Second guess, yeah. So how do we learn to trust our gut?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Lechter sees intuition as a connection to like a higher intelligence,
Yeah.
a source of wisdom that goes beyond, our logical minds.
So it's not just about like a feeling.
Yeah.
It's
deeper than that.
deeper than that.
It's a knowing.
Okay.
And it's funny.
What?
Children, they're so intuitive.
They are.
But as we grow up, we kind of lose touch with that.
Yeah, it's like we're taught to ignore it.
We are.
Yeah.
We're taught to value logic over feeling.
Right, so maybe it's time to rediscover that inner wisdom.
Maybe it is.
And start paying attention to those intuitive nudges.
Those nudges, yeah, because they're there.
Okay, so let's move on to a topic that, like, everyone struggles with at some point. Conquering fear.
Conquering fear,
Lechter builds on Hill's 6 basic fears.
Yeah.
But she focuses on how they impact women specifically.
Right, because we experience fear differently.
Yeah. So let's break them down.
Okay.
What are these fears?
Right. And how can we overcome them?
Let's do it. Okay, so the first one, the one that kind of underpins a lot of other anxieties, is the fear of poverty.
That's a big one.
It is, and Lechter doesn't sugarcoat it.
Oh, really?
She's straight up, she says you're either the master of your money.
Oh, wow.
Or you're a slave to it.
That's a powerful statement.
It is. It makes you realize that you have a choice.
You do.
You really do.
And for women, I feel like this fear can be especially strong.
Oh, absolutely.
Considering, the historical disadvantages.
Yeah, we haven't always had equal access
Exactly.
to financial resources.
So it's not just about, like, a lack of resources. It's about
power.
Yeah.
It's about feeling like you don't have the knowledge to make,
smart decisions.
smart financial decisions.
Yeah.
But Lechter's all about empowerment.
Okay.
She says knowledge is key.
So instead of, like, avoiding your bank statements.
Yes.
Or feeling intimidated by investing.
Right.
You need to dive in and educate yourself.
You do. Okay, so what about the fear of criticism?
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
This is one that I think a lot of women can relate to.
Absolutely. It's like we're conditioned to be people pleasers.
Yeah.
Which makes us extra sensitive to, like, what other people think.
Right. And let's be honest. Women often face harsher judgment than men.
Oh, totally. Especially in the workplace.
It's like we have to be perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Which is impossible.
It is. It's an impossible standard.
So how do we deal with that fear?
That's the question.
Like, do we just need to toughen up and ignore the haters?
Lechter has a different approach.
Okay.
She says reframe the criticism.
Oh, okay.
See it as an opportunity to grow.
Okay.
She even quotes Napoleon Hill. He had this great tip.
What's that?
He said, sandwich every bit of criticism between 2 layers of praise.
Oh, I like that.
It's brilliant, right?
It's like a compliment sandwich.
Yeah, compliment sandwich.
Instead of focusing on the negative.
You highlight the positive.
Yeah.
It's about finding that kernel of truth. Okay? In the criticism and using it to improve.
Right.
But not letting it, crush you.
Crush your soul.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about the fear of ill health?
Oh, this one's huge, especially nowadays.
Yeah, with all the information out there.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
All the conflicting advice, the scary headlines.
It's enough to make you want to stay in bed.
I know, right?
Forever.
But Lechter reminds us that we have more control over our health than we might think.
Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom.
No. It starts with making choices that support our well-being.
So it's not about obsessing over every little detail.
Right.
It's about making sustainable changes.
Sustainable.
Yeah. To your lifestyle.
Exactly. Finding that balance between enjoying life and taking care of yourself.
Yeah, and that includes, like, the not-so-fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like regular checkups.
The checkups.
Preventative care.
Yeah, it's easy to put those things off.
Oh, yeah.
But they make a difference in the long run.
In the long run, for sure.
All right, now this next one, this can be particularly tough for women.
Okay.
The fear of loss of love.
Oh, yeah, heartbreak.
The heartbreak, exactly. We're often taught to define ourselves by our relationships.
Yeah, like you're not complete until you find your other half.
Right, that whole fairy tale thing.
Yeah.
So the thought of losing someone we love can be just devastating.
Devastating, yeah.
And it often comes down to insecurities about our own worth,
Yeah, like, am I lovable?
Am I lovable? Okay, exactly.
So how do we overcome this fear?
Okay, Lechter says it starts with loving yourself.
Oh, okay.
Accepting yourself.
Flaws and all.
Flaws and all, yeah. When we recognize our own value, we're less likely to seek validation from others.
It's like you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
You got to fill yourself up first.
You do.
And then you can share that love with others.
Right. And she also reminds us that we can't control how other people feel.
You can't.
We can't. All we can control is our own actions and reactions.
So instead of trying to, like, cling to someone,
or force them to love us.
Right.
We need to focus on building healthy relationships.
Healthy, supportive, based on mutual respect and trust.
And that includes the relationship we have with ourselves.
With ourselves, yeah.
That's important.
It is. It's the foundation.
Okay, what about the fear of old age?
Oh, this one's interesting.
This is a big one, especially, I think, for women.
Absolutely. There's so much pressure.
To stay young.
To stay young, to fight those signs of aging. It's like aging is a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like we're supposed to be ashamed of it.
Exactly. But Lechter challenges that.
Okay, good.
She sees aging as a natural part of life. A beautiful part of life. Even it's a time for wisdom, for growth.
For new experience.
New experiences, exactly.
So it's not about trying to turn back the clock.
No.
It's about embracing the journey.
Embracing the journey, yeah.
And celebrating each stage of life.
Celebrating.
Yeah. Okay, and that brings us to, like, the ultimate fear.
The big one.
The fear of death. Death.
Yeah. This is a heavy topic.
It is.
But I appreciate how Lechter approaches it with a sense of, like, practicality.
Yeah.
And even a little bit of humor.
She doesn't shy away from it.
No.
She doesn't sugarcoat it.
Right.
But she reminds us that death is a natural part of life.
It is. It's something we all have to face eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
So instead of letting that fear paralyze us,
right,
we should focus on, like, living fully now.
Yes, making the most of every moment.
Making the most of every moment.
She encourages us to create a life that feels meaningful.
Yeah.
Purposeful, to leave a legacy that we can be proud of.
Yeah, I love that.
She even quotes Princess Diana.
Oh, really?
Who said, "Carry out a random act of kindness with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge that one day someone might do the same for you."
That's beautiful.
It is.
So it's like our actions have ripple effects.
They do.
That extend beyond our own lives.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about these 6 fears, but how do we actually overcome them?
That's the question.
Because just knowing about them isn't enough.
No, it's not.
So how do we actually, like, put this into practice?
So Lechter brings it back to those principles we talked about earlier.
Okay.
You know, burning desire, faith, and organized planning.
Those are the big 3?
The big 3, yeah. She argues that when we have a clear purpose, an unwavering belief in ourselves, and a solid plan, we're less likely to be derailed by fear.
It's like having a compass and a roadmap.
Exactly, to guide you through those tough times.
Through the wilderness.
Through the wilderness of fear, yeah. And she gives us specific strategies for dealing with each fear.
Like what?
Like facing that fear of poverty head on.
Okay.
By getting financially educated, building a support system to help you through that fear of criticism and prioritizing self-care to combat that fear of ill health.
So it's like there's action steps you can take.
There are.
For each of these fears.
There are.
Okay, and I'm sure the mastermind plays a role in this too.
Oh, absolutely. Surrounding yourself with supportive people who believe in you, that makes a world of difference.
It does.
It's about realizing that you don't have to face your fears alone.
That's so important.
It is. Now, Lechter adds another layer to conquering fear that I think is really powerful.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's about tapping into something that women have in abundance.
Okay.
But we often don't fully utilize.
Okay. What is it?
It's the power of feminine energy.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about this.
So Lechter argues that women have this unique set of strengths.
Okay.
That are often overlooked.
Overlooked by?
By society, by the world, even by ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, I think a lot of women can relate to that.
Yeah.
We're often told to be less emotional.
Less sensitive, less collaborative.
Yes, to fit into that, like, masculine mold.
Yeah, it's like we have to, like, suppress our true nature.
Exactly. But Lechter says those qualities are our superpowers.
They're superpowers. Yeah, it's about embracing our intuition.
Okay.
Our empathy, our collaboration, our creativity, and using them to our advantage.
It's like she's saying, hey, we're not broken, we're just wired differently.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good thing.
It's a good thing, yeah. It's about owning that.
Owning it.
And she gives examples of successful women who've done just that.
Like who?
Like Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
She built an empire on her ability to connect with people.
Right.
To tell their stories.
Yeah. And Sarah Blakely, the Spanx lady?
Sarah Blakely. Yeah, she invented Spanx out of a personal need and turned it into a $1 billion business.
Yeah.
These are women who didn't try to fit into a mold.
Right.
They embraced their unique qualities.
And they use them to create something amazing.
Something amazing.
So it's not about becoming more like men.
No.
It's about owning our feminine power.
Yes.
And using it to create a life that's both successful and fulfilling.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the heart of Lechter's message. Success on your own terms.
I love that.
It's about defining what success means to you.
Not letting society tell you what you should be doing.
Exactly. It's about embracing your gifts.
Yeah.
And using them to create a life that feels authentic.
And fulfilling.
And fulfilling. Yeah.
Lecher's message is so empowering.
It is.
And inspiring.
It's a call to action.
It is.
For women to step into their full potential.
Yeah, and create a world that's more equitable and just.
More equitable and just, yeah.
It's about recognizing that we have the power to change the world.
We do.
One woman at a time.
One woman at a time, yeah. So let's get even more practical.
Okay.
Let's talk about how to apply Lechter's principles to specific areas of your life.
Okay.
Starting with your career.
Okay, because I think this is where a lot of women struggle, you know.
Yeah, they feel stuck, they feel undervalued.
Or just unsure of, like, what their next move should be.
Yeah, so what advice does Lechter have for us?
Yeah, because so many women are stuck in jobs that just, like, drain them. They dream of something more,
yeah,
but they feel trapped.
Trapped, yeah. So where do you even begin? Well, Lechter would probably say, go back to that definite major purpose.
Yeah, right.
Dust it off.
Okay.
And ask yourself, like, does your job, does it even resemble the thing that lights you up?
Yeah, it's easy to get comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're, like, good at what you do.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily what you're passionate about.
Exactly.
Like, how do you turn that, like, what if into a plan?
A plan, yeah. Well, it doesn't mean you got to quit your job tomorrow.
Right.
Dramatically.
Okay.
It's about that organized planning.
Okay.
So think about it, like, what kind of work would make you excited to get out of bed?
Yeah.
What skills do you need to do that?
Right.
What companies, what organizations are doing work that, like, you know, resonates with your values?
Okay, and this is where the mastermind could come in handy.
Oh, yeah.
You bounce ideas.
Bounce ideas, get advice from people who are already doing what you want to do.
Right, find mentors.
Mentors, yeah.
Who've been there, done that.
Exactly. It's about information gathering, making a plan.
Taking those strategic steps.
Strategic steps, yeah. And remember, career success doesn't always mean, like, the corner office. Maybe your definite major purpose is about starting a business that gives you more flexibility, or working for a nonprofit.
Right, making a difference.
Making a difference, yeah. It's about aligning your work with your values.
Aligning it, yeah.
So it doesn't feel like a job.
Right, more like a calling.
A calling, yeah. Speaking of alignment.
Oh, here we go.
Let's talk relationships.
Ooh, yeah.
Lechter kind of throws out that fairy tale script.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like, successful relationships, they're not about finding Prince Charming.
Right, we're living in a castle.
No, it's messier than that.
It's real life.
Real life, yeah.
So it's not about waiting to be rescued or trying to change your partner?
Nope, it's about building a partnership. That's based on respect, trust, shared values.
And that takes work.
It does.
It takes communication.
Setting boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah. Being honest about what you need.
And that's where decision comes in.
Decision, yes.
Who do you want in your life?
Yeah, what kind of relationship is actually going to, like, nourish you?
It's about knowing your worth.
Your worth, yeah.
And not settling for anything less.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk money.
Money, money, money.
It's a taboo topic for a lot of women.
It is.
But Lechter says it's time to change that.
It is. She's a huge advocate for financial literacy.
Okay.
It's about taking control.
Right.
Not being afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
And making informed decisions about your money.
Yeah, because a lot of women, I think, they feel intimidated by, like, the jargon.
Oh, yeah, the financial jargon.
It's like a whole different language.
It is. And some women feel like it's not feminine to be, you know, assertive about money.
Yeah, like, we're not supposed to care about that.
Yeah.
Right. But Lechter's like, nope, screw that.
I like her.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She gives you practical strategies for budgeting, saving, investing.
So it's not about being greedy.
No.
It's about
security.
Security.
It's about building wealth for yourself and your family.
And having the resources to, like,
to live the life you want.
Support the causes you care about.
Exactly. Money's a tool.
Yeah.
You get to decide how to use it.
And speaking of tools.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the most powerful one we have. Our bodies.
Our bodies, yes.
Yeah.
And Lechter takes a holistic approach to health.
Okay.
It's all about that mind-body connection.
And I love that she doesn't, like, prescribe some rigid diet
No.
or exercise plans.
No, it's about finding what works for you.
Yeah, creating a sustainable lifestyle.
A lifestyle. Yeah, it's about making healthy choices, sure.
Right.
But it's also about, like, enjoying life.
Yeah.
Food should be pleasurable.
Right.
Movement should be joyful.
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Where you feel good.
Where you feel energized, vibrant.
Honoring your body.
Honoring your body, yeah.
Now, for something a little less tangible, but just as important, spirituality.
Spirituality, yeah.
This is a deeply personal journey.
It is.
And Lechter doesn't try to, like, impose any specific beliefs.
No.
But she encourages us to connect with something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, whether that's through nature, meditation,
prayer,
art,
music, whatever feeds your soul.
It's about finding that sense of purpose and meaning that goes beyond, just the everyday grind.
The everyday grind.
So Lechter's principles, we can apply them to every area of our lives.
Every area.
It's about taking a holistic approach.
Holistic.
Embracing our feminine power.
Yes.
And creating a life that feels truly fulfilling.
Truly fulfilling. Yeah, it's not a quick fix.
Right.
It's not a magic formula.
It's a journey.
A journey with ups and downs, triumphs.
But Lechter gives us the tool.
The tools, yeah.
To navigate it all. Yeah. To come out stronger on the other side.
It's time to ditch those limiting beliefs, ladies.
Yes, it's time.
And step into your power.
Step into your power.
That's a great note to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Think and Grow Rich for Women.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights.
Yeah.
And you're feeling inspired to create your own version of success.
Your own version, because there's no one right way.
Exactly.
Until next time, remember, the power to create the life you want is within you.
That's right. It's all within you.